Red, white, black, and yellow. RWBY's colors and characters are bright and vibrant and stand out against other anime characters due to the importance of their characters' colors. Looking at RWBY merch, it's easy to spot it in stores, or even just lined up next to Rooster Teeth's other products. Their characters are so easily recognizable, or at least they used to. Take a look at these characters: Yang, Weiss, Emerald, Torchwick, Neo, Neon, Neptune, Oobleck, and Pyrrha. Now take a look at these characters: Watts, Tyrion, Hazel, Oscar, Callie, and Ilya. These characters have candy-colored hair, and these characters are boring. After Volume 4, characters have started to take on a much more realistic hair and eye color combination. Usually I'm fine with more realistic character colors in anime, but since RWBY started with this rainbow style for characters, these new characters feel really out of place now. Seeing Weiss with snow white hair stood next to normal Vernal makes Weiss look like she's a character from another anime, who just stumbled into the show on accident. I'm sitting here watching Emerald standing next to the other members of Salem's team, and she looks crazy. Everyone else has dark hair and normal colored eyes. I mean, I guess yellow eyes are a little weird, but Emerald is mint green and has demon red eyes. I mean, not every character was a disco ball of color before Volume 4. Amber, Ciel, Cinder, Coco, Velvet, Flint, Junior. But what is it about these characters? They feel different. Their clothes! These characters all have bright pops of color. Cinder and Junior pop red, Flint and Ciel have bright blues, Velvet and Coco have the most simple palettes, but Velvet's gold accents and Coco's orange streak in her hair are still very eye-catching. Another big thing is their actual style of clothes. If I showed you just their clothes without their color palettes, you could still tell whose outfit is whose. These new outfits are very normal. Can you recognize any of these outfits? No, not really. They've gone from intricate laces and frills with small yet simple accents specific for each character to just a t-shirt and just a jacket and just blah. Something has happened style-wise with RWBY that has taken a turn. Not even minor characters stand out anymore. Volume 3 we got Reese. Volume 5 we got Mata, who are both considered important enough to have their own character pages on the wiki. People make awesome cosplay and fan art about Reese. I googled image Mata and I got 5 pictures of him before it became just regular RWBY screenshots. I'm making such a big deal about this because they could have had so much more fun with designing these characters. Look at me just playing around with the colors for the villains. They could have gone crazy. They should have. Seeing the new villains standing next to the old ones feels so bizarre. They don't leave any kind of memorable impact like how Neo or Torchwick does. Not just villains. Here's Yang's parents. And here's Blake's parents. You know, something looks odd, and I'm not quite sure what it is. Why do you all look the same? Yang clearly has traits from both her parents. Hell, even RWBY does that thing where she just looks like a younger version of one of her parents. But Blake's parents look like brother and sister. When I first saw the opening for Volume 4, I thought Callie was Blake's sister or something, not her mom. Like, Bagheera's design actually makes sense. He's based off of Bagheera from the Jungle Book. Black hair and yellow eyes makes sense, and matches Blake's design. And he even has a nice pop of purple with his outfit. But Callie looks like a Blake afterthought. Both Callie and Whitley suffer from this half-hearted designs. They're both important family members to 2 of our main cast, yet they feel like they had got no attention when it came to design. What should Blake's mom look like? Just make it Blake but with shorter hair. What should Weiss's brother look like? Just look up a gender-bent Weiss fan art and do something like that. Seriously, why does all the Schnees have the white hair? Jacques had black hair when he was younger. None of his kids adopted this trait? They mentioned their semblance being a strong hereditary trait, so maybe that's a part of it, but I'm not sure if Whitley even has it. Also, since he's much more similar to Jacques and follows his ideals a lot more than his sisters, it would have been good theming to give him hair like Jacques, or at least a little bit of black or gray stripes or something. Both Whitley and Callie suffer from this idea that there is no real thought put into their designs. Callie's inspirations is next to impossible to discern based on her design alone. Just like Jacques, the only thing about their fairy tale is just in their names. Jacques doesn't really look like the trickster being of the coming of winter season, and Callie doesn't really portray the Hindu goddess of death either. And you could argue not all characters do this perfectly. Crow doesn't look like an actual scarecrow, but the difference is his design is more intricate and unique to the character the show has established for him. He's supposed to have elements of RWBY's design represented in his own, since he's her biggest role model. On top of that, there's small details in his design that make him stand out and feel unique. No other character has those sharp designs like seen in his collar and rolled up sleeves, even the really small details like the amount of rings he wears or his little crooked cross necklace. Even if the character can't truly represent their fairy tale as easily as RWBY or Yang can, these intricate details can still help the characters remain easily recognizable. Now look at Jacques. He just wears a normal, boring suit. There's nothing in his design that really helps him stand out. Looking at the other characters during Weiss's after party, he looks just like all of the background characters. Wintley suffers from this too, and the first couple of times I even watched the scene, I didn't even see him standing there. I think that's one of the biggest problems with these designs. You just can't tell at a glance what these characters are based off of anymore. Like, what about Hazel's design says he's supposed to be Hansel from Hansel and Gretel? Nothing. Not even like Lederhosen or anything. Just thinking out of the box with colors and styles, and it could really have helped him still stand out. And being able to stand out is a lot more important than you might think. The designs of your characters help keep them in the minds of the audience. Look at all of these characters. Could you recognize the shows they're from at just a glance? Now look at these characters. Even if you haven't seen their shows, you can still recognize all of them. Or at least they should feel unique enough to stand out in your mind. Villains especially need to stand out, as they're just as important to the story as your main cast. How many people talk about how much they love Frieza or Azula? Is it because your villains need to be something the audience can hold on to whenever the heroes are in danger. They need to leave a lasting impression. Notice I used Azula for that example, and not the Fire Lord. No one remembers him. He didn't stand out amongst the sea of cool and unique adversaries our heroes needed to face along the way, and RWBY is suffering from the same thing but on a much larger scale. And I've kind of gone a lot of places throughout this video, but it's to basically boil down to Team RWBY themselves. Remember the start of this video? I called them bright, vibrant, and easy to recognize in a crowd, but I don't think their new outfits could really do the same. Mostly because none of them feel like their original colors anymore. Red, white, black, and yellow has become tan, bluish gray, white on the wrong character, and brown. Even their alternate outfits they wore for like 3 episodes in Volume 2 did a better job representing their colors and characters. And don't get me wrong, I get the ideas behind their outfits. RWBY now wears tan because it's yellow and white mixed together. She's the only one of the 4 to still have any of their team colors represented in her design, because she's the only one who still thinks they could get back together at the start of the volume. But the cool contrast of the red of her hood against the black of her old dress has been lost because of this. Now her hood is easy to lose behind her puffy sleeves. Her red is getting lost and hidden. They could have alleviated this by adding some more red accents to the dress in general, the straps of her backpack, or adding some red laces to the clothes somewhere. Weiss feels completely lost in all this gray, and makes her blend into the Schnee Manor and all of its residents. The bright red of her collar before was almost like a sign of defiance against her father, a bright, warm color amidst all the dark, cold colors of her family. Now she's lost this, and it's easy to overlook Weiss in a crowd because of it. Weiss has the problem of blending into the colors of the sky or the building she's near. She needs to be brightened up and given a pop of color or contrast to really draw the eye. Blake really just makes no sense to me. She's the black character. Why not put her in black? See? Not that hard. Yang is supposed to look cool or badass or something, I suppose, and I'm sure you could find similar outfits for cool characters in other media, but Yang already looked cool before. Look at her here, showing off 80% of her legs in a low-cut shirt. She looks like she's a sexy biker chick. I can compare her to Bayonetta in the cool sexy category, and it worked well with Yang because that's her character. She's the badass winking at dudes right before she falcon punches them into a coma. Now Yang looks like someone who's trying too hard to look cool. Before it seemed effortless for Yang, and now it's like she spent 4 hours in a leather store staring at their wares. Yang's bright yellow shirt and her cool bright colors was a nice fit for her uppy personality, adding the orange and purple splashes into her design, and she really stands out. Now she tends to suffer from the similar problem as Weiss. I can just never find her in a crowd. The dark browns fit all too well into the backgrounds of trees or buildings, and she can get lost. The orange, purple, and yellow has been trimmed down to the smallest amount possible. Our sunny little dragon needs to add some sun to her outfit. So clearly the designs of our characters have taken a toll, and a lot of them need some new revisions in general. But don't lose hope just yet. As of Volume 6, things seem to have changed a bit. Yeah, there's still simple characters like Saffron and Terra, but there's also characters with a ton of thought put into the designs. Like Talk. She only shows up for one scene briefly before getting offed, but she really stands out. Her colors pop and are eye-catching, her clothing style is distinct to her character, her fairy tale is easily recognized, and plays fun and important roles in her character and her design itself. And she's not the only one. Maria, both young and old, Dee and Dudley, hell, even though she was short-lived, Sienna also had an amazing design. These characters are fun, and they stand out, and if Rooster Teeth keeps this up, then they're going to be headed in a much better direction. And maybe our RWBY girls will get new designs after this volume ends. If they do, hopefully I'll be able to see our girls, even if they're in the middle of a crowd. Alrighty, I hope you really enjoyed that video. I know it was a little all over the place, but you know what? It was a lot of important things that I wanted to say. This is actually part of a little collaboration video I'm doing with two really awesome people, Twins Inc. and Allison RU. I'll have links to their channels up here and in the description. We all three did videos about RWBY and different design elements about RWBY, and I think you'd be really interested to check out their videos also. So go ahead and check those out. It's going to be right here for you to click on somewhere. And if you liked my video, maybe check out some of my other stuff. I have a lot more fun videos planned, and I hope I'll see you around. So if you want to do me a favor, go ahead and like, comment, and maybe even subscribe. Bye-bye.